I'm going today to talk about the phones. I was talking about this topic the other day and I got to thinking about how important phones are in our everyday lives. So, let's talk a little bit about this. Let's go briefly through the history of phones. Some basic versions of the telephone had been invented earlier. Alexander Graham Bell is usually credited with the invention since he won the first US patent for it. What does patent mean? A patent is a government license given to someone who comes up with an idea for an invention. It typically excludes other people from making or selling this invention for a certain number of years. So, Alexander Graham Bell received a patent for the telephone in 1876. Prior to that, people couldn't talk over long distances, they could only send messages through telegraph or some other means. You can imagine how revolutionary this invention was, when suddenly people could talk and have their voice heard in a different location. It must have seemed like really advanced technology at that time. But obviously, telephones didn't just become common household items overnight. It would be decades before this device became commonplace. One big milestone in the development of phones was the first transcontinental phone call, which was made from New York to San Francisco in 1915. Nowadays, this might not seem like a huge feat, but this type of long distance communication was completely unheard at that time. Really, the telephone was changing the way people thought about communication. Over the next few decades, many more millions of households installed landlines, and the telephone became the king of communication. Then, fast forward to 1973, the world saw the introduction of the first cell phone made by Motorola. But if you are thinking that this cell phone bore any resemblance to today's phone, think again. The first mobile phone was a monster. It definitely couldn't fit in anyone's pocket. Later on, in 1989, the first flip phone appeared on the market. In 1992, the first text message was sent between phones. Obviously, today, text messages are an essential function of all cell phones, and people communicate more through messages than they do through calls. Come to think of it, it seems like people try to avoid calling and instead send text messages whenever possible. Another cell phone feature that we take for granted nowadays is the camera. The first camera phone came out in Japan in 1999 and then later on in the rest of the world. And then, finally, in 2007, the first iPhone came out, stunning the world with its revolutionary design and touchscreen display. Even though there were already smartphones in existence at that time, the iPhone really brought smartphone onto the scene. After that, other companies followed suit and started releasing smartphone after smartphone. Nowadays, it seems like practically everyone who can afford it has a smartphone. This device has become a necessity in many people's lives, and most people spend many hours every week using it. Actually, a lot of people don't even use their computer that much anymore because they can do everything through their phone. If you had told people just a few decades ago about the cell phone of today, they probably wouldn't have believed you. Who knows what type of innovation we might see with phones in the future. Okay, now I'm going to ask you 3 questions about today's video. Write your answers in a comment down below. In what year was the first transcontinental phone call made? Number 2. Which company made the world's first cell phone? Number 3. What important cell phone feature was first added in 1992? Okay, that's all for today. See you next time.